You ever see a Muppet at a restaurant?
Them's his fighting words. Welcome to Oddball. Amin Elhassan. Charlotte Wilder is still here. Charlotte Wilder is still seated. I like the addition of the laptop today, like you're doing research somehow, like you're like producing while we're doing the show.
I am, just in case we have to look anything up in this very serious show.
Yes, a show that we do a lot of research and a lot of looking up for.
I'm doing this for you, Amin. I'm doing this for us. I'm doing this for the show.
This is so that if anyone ever asks me if I know who the Wizards drafted, we can look it up immediately rather than me just having a blank stare on my face.
Except I did have my computer when that happened and didn't think to look it up. So we're a work in progress.
It's a work in progress. There you go. A little bit later, we're going to bet the show. That's right, the game you guys can't get enough of and I can't understand. Also, we dive back into NBA Reddit and see what kind of wacky topics they have up there. I know what you're thinking. I mean, this is hardly original content. Guess what? It's August. It's August. Hall of Fame hasn't happened yet. World Cup hasn't happened yet. Training camps haven't opened yet. Deal with it. But we do have a serious topic, Charlotte.
We do. And
recently, obviously, the news that the Saudi League made a big offer to Kylian Mbappe of PSG, offered him something in the neighborhood of $1 billion, basically, to make the move over. He ultimately declined their offer, but not before we got a bunch of reactions from NBA players on Twitter who sounded a lot like NFL players anytime any NBA player signs a big deal. Like, what? Maybe I should have played this sport and all that stuff. The NBA guys were kind of like, I guess led by LeBron, where he says, hey, Mav, Rich, like, give him a call, see what's up. Like, so
with the Forrest Gump running gif.
Yes.
He's like, on my way.
On my way. And so, Charlotte,
yes.
The question is, do you think there is any credible threat that the Saudis could start to poach the ranks of the NBA?
I mean, I think there's always a credible threat when there's that much money involved. I think that if they're focused on soccer right now, maybe they're a few years before they start trying to poach the NBA's greatest players. But there's a 5% is a cap on foreign governments investing in teams. Qatar bought a 5% share of the Wizards, which feels like sort of starting to make the inroads, but this would be an entirely different thing. This would be taking players to Saudi Arabia as a part of the Saudis' seeming desire to rehabilitate their image using sports.
The term is sports washing.
There you go.
They take sports and they scrub off the grime of human rights violations and all sorts of other dastardly acts.
Yeah, it's amazing how well it works. But so I think when there's that much money, you saw it with golf. Like all the players were like, we're absolutely not doing this. And all of a sudden the tour itself was like, actually, you absolutely are. So I don't know. I feel like nothing's off the table. I think it's a question of will the stars go in terms of the reputation or like how much money does it take?
Yeah, so like the interesting thing about this is you don't need everybody. You just need enough big names. I don't think they need, we were talking earlier before the show and Hollywood said, what if they took a third of the NBA? I said, they don't need a third of the NBA.
Yeah.
They probably need just about half of the All-Star game, maybe even less than that. You get 5 guys. There is no economic reality behind these decisions. There's not like, hey, we do this and we'll sell this much in sponsorship and our fans and the rating. No, they don't care. They're just saying, I have a bunch of money and I want to watch like the best player in the world, in Mbappe, in my opinion. Like, I want to watch him here. I don't want to watch him in Paris or anywhere else. And
the Saudis saying that.
The Saudis are saying that. So there's no economic thought of like, it's not like China, where over the last 2 decades has grown as a domestic league and become a real avenue for guys to go make money playing basketball. That's not Europe and that's not the NBA. This is different. This is something where it's like, we're going to be exorbitantly overpaying everyone just because we can, right? So when you go from there, for them, a victory, if you got one big name guy to go, that's a victory, as Ronaldo was for them when he went on. But when Ronaldo went, what it did was it opened the door for everyone else saying, wait a second, what am I doing killing myself over here?
Right.
Making pennies when I could literally set my great-great-grandchildren up for life.
Right.
With 3 years or 2 years playing in this league. LeBron's easy. Let's leave LeBron out of it.
Yeah.
Think about it. They got Kawhi Leonard, John Morant, and
Kevin Durant.
Right? Those are 3 guys at different stages in their careers and all with a pretty big name out there. If those 3 guys went, the NBA would feel that.
Yeah.
They would feel that, and especially if they go for something crazy. If Kevin Durant goes for $700, $800, $1 billion,
yeah,
right? At that point, some people, it's the same thing that happened with Liv. Some people are going to be like, oh yeah, good luck playing on the CW or whatever, where no one's ever going to watch you. But the reality is, there's going to be some players that are going to be like, wait a second, what?
Yeah.
He's making that much, like, why can't I do that?
Right. I think that there's also the normal safeguards, or not safeguards, the normal things in capitalism that protect against this, like brand deals, future broadcast deals, your endorsements, your work in the community, whatever it is that people are worried about in terms of their reputation. Against $1 billion, that starts to matter a lot less. There's no pull if you're talking like, oh, you could get 30 mil from Nike, or you could get $900 million in your pocket. So it starts to break down the system.
In a very small amount of time, too.
Yes.
We're not talking over the lifetime of a 10-year or 8-year deal. You're talking about 3-year deals here. 2, 3-year deals, 4 years max. For someone, if the guy's young enough, he could presumably go, make this money, and then come back and have a very fulfilling NBA career. I think that's the one thing, the one caveat is NBA basketball players are measured basically by their NBA achievements, by and large. If you're an international player, the highest achievement you can make is playing in the NBA and being a star here, because it says, I took my talents to the unequivocal #1 league in the world, and I showed myself to be one of the best, as opposed to if you are a soccer player, for instance, Messi, Mbappe, Neymar, they played for PSG. No one respects what they did because you play in the French league, right? But you can do that if you're competing at the Champions League level, right? Same thing. It's like Messi never played at the EPL, the unquestioned #1 soccer league in the world. That's fine. But he played for Barcelona, and everyone's like, well, Barcelona's a great club. You can have that in soccer. You can be parts of great organizations outside of the Premier League, no pun intended.
Right.
In basketball, you can't do that. You can't say, well, I never played in the NBA, but I played for Real Madrid, which is a good basketball club a great basketball club by international standards, but clearly substandard to being an NBA player.
Right. I mean, look at Wembanyama. He was in the French league. He was playing professionally, and it was still the biggest moment ever when he graduated to the NBA. And I think also, in that same vein, you have seen the breakdown of whatever attempt at making different leagues in a sport controlled by one. Like with golf, with the PGA Tour, that used to be really the only game in town, internationally even. And then Liv comes in, and some guys are like, no, on principle, I'm not going. And then you see how that works out. So that isn't even there.
Yeah.
You can't, for basketball players to be like, I feel gross about this. It's like, well, do I get on board now, or do I make a stand and then wait until everybody else gets on board? Because so I don't know. It feels like the leagues start to break down pretty quickly either way.
Yeah, man, because all of this is it's a house of cards, man. Next up, we're going to bet the show. We're going to find out if anyone in this building, other than us, is actually going to watch a Detroit Pistons game this year. Stay tuned.
By the way, 99% of these are awful. Starting with Victor Wembanyama will not only win Rookie of the Year, but also MVP this season.
All right, well, what are we betting?
The wager, are you willing to bet your party budget? Well, there was a party budget.
Oh, there is a party budget. Amin's Mixer.
If you win, Oddball gets a playoffs party for the ages. If you lose, you get a day-old piece of pound cake and a balloon with no helium in it. You know what?
What? Let's do it.
I know. I'm not even going to answer this. This bet is terrible. But It does remind me of a great story when I was working Sports Nation and Michelle Beadle left to go start a new show in New York. I was camped out in her cubicle because cubicles were hard to come by. And so I was like, this is mine. So I was squatting, and I was moving more and more of my stuff in there as she was moving more and more stuff out. So the last day of Sports Nation, they gave Michelle a gift of a bust of her head, a life-size bust of her head.
Made out of what?
Cheese.
Oh!
Made out of cheddar cheese. And it was very funny, and everything was awesome.
Yeah.
Michelle moves to New York. I move in. Months go by.
No.
I'm in this cubicle. I've got a PlayStation in there. I'm playing everything. And then one day, Michelle says, hey, did you ever find that?
Stop it.
And I said, find what? She said,
Stop it.
do you want to check your desk? I'm like, well, I'm right here. There's nothing here. She's like, no, check the drawers. And I open the first drawer. There's nothing. I open the second drawer. I open the third drawer.
No.
And it is this. It was her face
Oh my God.
decomposing.
Oh my God.
Green and pungent. I mean, I don't know how it stayed scentless.
Yeah, that makes me think that they had like the best desks in the world in those cubicles if you didn't smell that, or you have a terrible sense of smell.
I have an amazing sense of smell. What a time. The budgets were out of control back then. But, yes.
Now I'm going to get a cheese bust of your head made out of cheese.
A day-old piece of pound cake.
I'm going to take this bet just because I think that a playoffs party would be great, and we can maybe get one anyway.
Also, no stranger to day-old cake.
Yeah, most of the pound cake I eat is a day-old. The Sacramento Kings make the finals.
Okay.
Wager, are you willing to bet your normal camera? If you win, you get that soap opera filter that makes everyone look dreamy. If you lose, video team decides on how you'll look.
Well, you know the Meadowlark video team, their reputation precedes them.
Yes. What do you think about the premise?
Oh, yeah, the premise is ridiculous.
Okay.
They're not going to make the finals.
All right.
But, I mean, you know, a couple injuries here or there, I guess it could happen.
Yeah.
Again, I think my bigger issue is I don't know if this is enough of a benefit. Like, I don't know. I don't need maybe if I saw myself with the dreamy filter and I'm like, ooh, I really do look dreamy, then it would be a better sell. But as of right now, I can't conceptualize what it is, so I don't care. It's not enough. The stakes aren't good enough for me to want to bet on that.
You're not going to take it?
No. Are you?
Can I take it if you're not going to take it? Yeah, I'm going to take it. I'm going to bet that the Kings are going to make the finals because I want to see what that filter looks like. And otherwise,
what if you look terrible?
With a filter?
Yes.
Oh, that's a great point.
Yeah.
That would be pretty crushing. I'm willing to risk it because the video team decides how we'll look, then maybe we'll get a laugh or two out of it. I don't know. Why not?
I have a feeling this is one of the bets that doesn't make it on air. Next bet. Anyone in Meadowlark watches an entire Pistons game all season. We're back, baby. You got two now. He's had two good bets.
That's a good bet.
That is a good bet.
That's a good bet.
The wager, this is only for Amin.
Oh.
Are you willing to bet your facial hair? If you win, you can go full Letterman or ZZ Top. If you lose, it's babyface Amin.
Oh, my God. When was the last time you didn't have a beard?
2017. Does goatee count as a beard?
Yeah.
No.
So
no goatee.
Yeah.
I guess when I start being able to grow actual facial hair was like 13. I had like a wispy mustache.
Bet it looked awesome.
Yeah. No, yeah. I was a looker. The irony is this is a really fun bet.
Yeah.
The problem though is that it's an easily corruptible bet.
What?
So I would have taken this bet. But then once it gets out, someone's going to sit there and watch it just to see me lose the wager.
I wish there were a way to, like, make sure, but there isn't.
There isn't because it's on air. So, well done. You blew it. You had a perfect premise, and you blew it because you got too cute with the wager. Next one.
Kristaps Porzingis will play more than 40 games with the Boston Celtics this season.
That's why you groaned or made that
Yeah, that's
noise.
why I made it, because I saw it started with Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah.
Wager, are you willing to bet your clip clearance budget? Is that like how many things we can show from...
We don't have a clip clearance budget.
I know, but is that like if we did, would that be showing clips?
Let me just say right now, yeah, like basically
like paying to show
highlights of last night's game, which we do not have access to. So, I mean, it's an imaginary. Look at he's shrugging. Hollywood is shrugging at me. Like,
He's saying maybe we do, though. Does that mean, like, maybe we do? Maybe we do have money for it?
DraftKings has a lot of money. They're not spending it on that.
Okay. Well,
not for us.
The bet would be if you win, real NBA footage and picks. If you lose, stick figure drawings by Amin. I'm gonna take it because I'm calling you out on your bluff. Because if he plays more than 40 games, I want to know if we can get any, like, just even one picture.
Action figures is what I was gonna do. We can use pictures. Hold on, like, well, time.
We can use pictures.
We can use pictures. We can use stills. What we can't use is video. Footage.
All right. Well, I want to see if there's money to get footage.
Okay.
If he plays more than 40 games, and otherwise, I actually want you to do this anyway.
It's
like
not,
action figures.
With
that's
action
fine.
figures,
yeah.
Little
We should do that anyway.
He-Man, like, dribbles and comes off the screen.
Yeah, and like a tech deck. Remember those little skateboards?
Pops about to Thundercat. Thundercat goes for 3.
Yeah, great. Well, thanks for watching another Bet the Show. Thanks for betting the show with us.
You don't have to thank them.
Welcome back to Oddball, and it's time for the segment where we read things off of NBA Reddit and watch the other person react. I believe that's the full name of the segment. Yay!
We love it.
Charlotte, I'm going to start with this one.
Okay.
What would happen if, in the middle of Game 7 of the NBA Finals, with the Lakers down 1, LeBron James got a steal and comes down the court for a completely undefended breakaway dunk? And right in the middle of that, a fan comes out of the crowd.
Like a streaker right at that moment.
Right at that moment. What do you think would happen?
Well, I have a few. Can we set a few parameters in this hypothetical?
Sure.
Who are they playing? In my head, it's.
Let's say Milwaukee.
Okay. Right. Milwaukee. Okay. So are we in LA or Milwaukee?
We're in LA.
Okay. And.
It's Game 7. We're in Milwaukee.
Okay. We're in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And does the fan have clothes on?
Yes, the fan has clothes on.
Okay.
And it does not have like an explosive strapped to them or anything like that. It's just a regular fan runs out onto the floor, like right into the line of fire, so to speak.
I think LeBron just trucks him. I'm assuming it's a man because women are usually.
Not true. Remember the women that glued themselves to the court in the playoffs?
In Milwaukee.
Multiple women during that one weird.
Okay, so maybe she's
playoff.
assuming this person. I'm not gonna.
There you go.
Yeah,
Don't misgender them.
Yeah, I'm not going to stereotype anybody here. Assuming this person doesn't have their hand glued to the court because we're in Milwaukee, I think LeBron completely takes them out by accident because I think their paths intersect, and this person is like maybe an arm is broken, and so you have this onslaught of paramedics, and you have fans freaking out. Like the Lakers fans who traveled, and LeBron is right. I think it's absolute maximum chaos. I mean,
but here's the thing.
Yes.
Do the Bucks get teed up for that? The home team has to get teed up for that, right?
Is that how?
Dude, I mean, like, how do you determine, like, possession and all those things? Milwaukee, your security should have been better in this hypothetical. So shame on you. Shame on you, Milwaukee, for letting that happen.
Shame on you, Milwaukee, for letting a fan ruin one of the greatest moments of LeBron James' career.
Well, or thank you for giving us one of the greatest moments of LeBron James' career, him vaporizing someone and then finishing the play.
Let's clip this so that people are like, wait, what did
when
Milwaukee
it happens,
do?
He called it. They called it in August.
Called it. Okay, I have one for you.
Okay.
Amin. This is hopping back on the name train. Our loyal viewers will remember that we talked about which players would be better if they had different names.
Yes.
I believe the example is if Zion Williamson were named Herbert Bartholomew, he would have had a tougher time.
Yeah.
This question is, which player's legacy is most impacted if their first name was Bob?
Ooh. Okay, now that's an interesting one because the last name is fine.
Yeah, last name's fine.
I think it's got to be Giannis. Bob Antetokounmpo? That guy's not getting it done. No way. No way. Bob Antetokounmpo? LeBron, maybe. Is it Bob James?
I also think that...
To see, if it was LeBron, he'd be Bobby James. And then he'd still be cool. Same thing with Curry. Like Bobby Curry.
I think Kawhi would be very impacted if his name was Bob Leonard. And he wouldn't be Bobby.
He wouldn't, because well, my name is Bob.
Yeah, I'm Bob.
Who's the last? We don't have any Bobs anymore.
No.
Right? Like this. I'm not even talking about sports. Like think of the last person you know who's named Bob who's under the age of 40. Doesn't exist.
Because even if their name's Robert, they're Rob
or
Robbie, or Bobby.
Or Robert. Like
right.
People will go with Robert, but no one's going with Bob.
Also Bert. Let's bring back Bert.
Like Bert, the problem with Bert is because it's short for, Bert's not around because it's short for either Herbert or Bertrand.
Or Albert.
Or Albert. And all three of those, like.
You go by Al.
Well, Albert goes by Al, and the other two aren't even happening. No one's named Bertrand anymore. My name is Bertrand. I'm an NBA player. No, I just dropped my card.
I've never met a Bertrand, but I'd like to.
Charlotte, which team has the worst name in the NBA?
Okay, this is something I get very fired up about. I hate when teams have moved and their team name was designed for the place that they originated and then kept the Lakers name. Drives me absolutely crazy. It was about
the Silver Lake. What are you talking about? There are lakes in LA.
Not. That's not their defining characteristic.
Well, I'm sorry. Is the
the Utah Jazz, like from New Orleans to Utah? Why are you still the Jazz?
Is New York's defining characteristic men who make like underwear for other men?
Pantaloons?
That's not a thing.
I know, because it wasn't based on, if it was like the New York Big Apples and then that team moved to, I don't know, Kansas, and it's like the Kansas Big Apples, I'd be like, that makes absolutely no sense.
Why? There's a Manhattan in Kansas. And
what's yours? Let me think.
What would you, or the other thing also is, what would you call them? All right, they're like, Charlotte, look, I can't believe we've gone 60 years calling.
Okay.
Like, what do we call ourselves now? We're not going to be the Lakers anymore. What do we call ourselves, Charlotte?
The Hollywood Stars.
The Hollywood Stars?
Yeah, the Hollywood Stars.
Jesus, no wonder you do, like, what do they say, those who can do, those who can't go on TV and tell other people how to do? That's what you just did right there. Hollywood Stars?
No, I don't know. I'm thinking.
Okay. See, that's the thing. Like, how many teams?
The LA Cinematics.
No, but like, here's the first. Wait, that just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
I hear laughter from the control room.
They like Hollywood.
Hollywood is shaking his head. Funny.
Hollywood is shaking his head at you.
How do you go? Okay? What do you think is the worst
Easily
team?
the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's a dumb name.
Thunder?
Thunder is not even a thing. It's a sound.
But that's a thing.
It's a sound.
It's a phenomenon.
It's not even. It's a sound. It is the sound that happens when lightning. It's like lightning is cool. It's dangerous. It like blows up. Thunder. That's just the sound that happens after the lightning.
Thunder's a warning.
No, it's not, because thunder comes after lightning because the speed of sound is slower than the speed of light. God, I gotta teach this person everything. Vocabulary.
Not everything.
Science.
Not science.
Math.
Not math.
She used to think that Powerball and Mega Millions were the same thing.
That's true.
Oklahoma City Thunder. Dumb name.
Yeah, I don't like bad uniform, bad color
everything.
scheme.
Like
bad
totality,
everything.
they take the cake for worse. I'll tell you what you should call yourselves. The Oklahoma City Barons.
Barons?
Yeah, because they're oil barons.
Like
right?
landed gentry?
I mean, look, I'm sorry, these billionaires are cuddly and nice. No.
Barons? Okay, all right. What else?
You know why they wouldn't do it? Because, a popular term was the robber barons.
Yeah, which was like the guys who had a chokehold on the economy like the NBA owners do.
Yep.
Although that would be the robber barons, the Oklahoma robber barons.
Yeah, well, some people in Seattle.
Two on the nose.
Yeah, some people in Seattle are like, Oklahoma City Cyclones.
Feels like a little
What?
overdone. There's like
Why is that offensive?
Why is that offensive?
Why is that offensive?
Because a cyclone is a natural disaster. That's
awful
for people.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. As we broadcast to you from lovely Miami, Florida, where the local university is called the Miami Hurricanes.
But
the whole point of your team name is it's supposed to be intimidating on some level.
Right.
And guess what? Intimidating things are dangerous and do dangerous things. But that's all right because we all accept that this isn't exactly like a glorification of a natural disaster.
What's the other word for cyclones?
Tornadoes?
Tornadoes. Oklahoma City tornadoes? Too
Yeah,
long,
clunky? Too clunky.
Cyclones?
City cyclones. With the C's, that's how you do it.
It pains me to say this, but that's not bad.
There you go. Or robber barons.
That's better.
Yeah, it's got a rich guy with like a mask on. That's the logo. All right, that's gonna do it for
the game where we read each other things from NBA Reddit and react to them and see what we think about it.
Where are you looking?
The camera where we're both on camera.
Bet the show's next. No, it's not. No.
Bet the show.
Bet the show wasn't next. That's the end of the show.
The show's over.
I bet the show is over.
Thanks for watching Oddball. Up next, a feed of Stugatz taking a heater in the parking lot for about 10 minutes.
It's live.